Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we'll be looking at the Mazda CX-5 Carbon Edition. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Southtown Mazda for giving me some time with this CX-5. I'll include a link to the website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 26 around town and then 30 on the highway. Power outputs are 187 horsepower and then 185 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood in normal Mazda fashion, there's not a whole lot going on, but that's what makes these Mazdas look so good, is the design's just clean and simple. So with this, you get the pretty normal lights, nothing too fancy happening there. Darker coloration on the grille with the Carbon Edition. And so when you put it all together, it's a handsome looking crossover. Now our tire wheel setup is 225 by 55 by 19 in the front and over in the rear. The wheels on this are completely blacked out. You've got the plastic molding on the fender flare and then along the side with the bodywork. Blacked out mirror caps. We also have the crossbars up top as well. And there's your side profile. This leads us to the key fob where we've got the Mazda logo. We have our lock and unlock function. We got the opening for the hatch as well. Nice little setup here. And that'll lead us inside. So with the CX-5, it is similar in size to like a Toyota RAV4. So very spacious cargo area behind the second row. We've got a cargo cover built in as well. These latches throw down the seats if you want more storage space. So overall, good setup. Press that and that'll lower the hatch right back down. And then with the CX-5, I think the taillight design again is good looking. Turn signal indicator is all nice. And then it's kind of rounded off on the rear end, but that's most modern crossovers. Now popping inside, we've got this cool stitching here up top. Down below we've got the red stitching, and this is nice with the trim that goes across. And this one has the red seats, which I think look great with the red stitching. Got the storage pocket there. Getting in's easy. Not crazy big with the room, but that's typical of this segment. We've got some vents there in the back, and then headroom back here is pretty good. This leads us up front, where again, you've got all of the soft touch down below, all of our window controls, mirror adjustment. Let's quick look at the mirrors. And then here are the seats, perforated all down the center. The memory seat functions on the side there. You got your power adjustments too. That's fun. It's a little hill climb assist. Anyways, lane departure, and then you've got your auto stop start, which you can turn off if you want. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got practical controls in the front, including your volume controls, your voice command controls. That's for the center, gauge cluster, cruise control. It is adaptive with this. And then you've got traditional stocks there on the back. With the gauge cluster, mostly analog, you do have a screen there off to the side that'll show you basic vehicle information. But I think that the design overall is clean. When you put it in sport mode, it'll give you a little sport icon off to the left. Backup camera in reverse, trajectory lines with that as well. And then just like other modern Mazdas, no touchscreen functionality with this. It's all controlled via a dial. It's quick to respond. If you do Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, touchscreen capabilities are available there. Soft touch across the dash here, some fancy stitching. Again, very luxury car-esque. Heated seats up front. You've got dual zone climate as well. Phone charging pad there. Shifter here for the 6-speed. Got your little sport mode. Shifter there is what we'll call it. Shift into sport mode. Anyways, parking brake with your auto hold. All of the analog controls for the infotainment system. Some cup holders here too. Center console has kind of nice little opening function there. You got that little tray up top too. Soft touch on the top, rear view mirror, and then we do have a sunroof up top as well. Now this leads us to the window sticker here, 2025 CX-5 Carbon Edition. $35,455 is total MSRP. Let's see how it performs. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's your visibility of the hood. Both the mirrors, do a blind spotting throughout the rest of the rear. And setting off in the Carbon Edition non-turbo. This is kind of like one of the coolest packages you can get on the non-turbo CX-5. Now, I will say, I do have a bias towards the turbo because with Mazda's pricing, it's like, it's not that big of a jump to go up to a turbo one versus a non-turbo. At least from my perspective. Like, I look at this at $35,000 and then I see the, you know, carbon turbo being, what, $39,000? It's like $4,000. For $4,000, yeah, I'll go for the higher horsepower, and that has more features, right? It's got heated and cooled seats and just some nice stuff in general. So that's kind of my take there. But anyways, this engine's, for an entry-level engine, it's pretty darn solid. It's got good low end torque for what it is. You do have to get up higher in the RPMs. And the nicest thing about this is no CVT, right? It's a torque converter automatic, similar to what Toyota does with the RAV4. This does have less horsepower than the RAV4 though, which I think is interesting. Yeah, see, this is where the turbo really shines, is it just has this punch and it's smooth and it just keeps on going. This definitely tapers off quite early in comparison. Not the worst thing on the planet, but definitely makes a big difference. So other than that, in normal Mazda fashion, handling's great. The steering feels very precise. Turn-in's really solid too. Suspension comfort's good. There's a lot to like about this. I mean, if I were to boil it down, basically it handles well. It's got a nice interior. It's comfortable. And when I say nice interior, I mean just sit in a Mazda. Seriously, like touch the stuff. The seats, everything. You understand, like, it feels premium for the segment that this is in. You do the same thing in a Toyota or a Honda or a Hyundai even. And you know, the Hyundais, right? They have nice looking interiors nowadays, but this just doesn't have the same quality feel that you get in Mazda. It's a big difference. So yeah, with the non-turbo CX-5, I think it's a good car. I do think it makes sense on, like, this is my opinion, I think it makes sense on the bottom end. So if you get like a base model CX-5 non-turbo, you know, those are like sub $30,000, that's a great car. That's a great crossover. But once you get up to this kind of packaging, then it's not bad by any means, but it makes a little bit less sense in my mind, because I would say, oh, just spend the extra $4,000, get the carbon turbo, and you get a car that looks really cool and is quicker and has a few more features as well. Because I think the carbon turbo now even has the 360 camera. I might be wrong. That was not angled properly. Take two. So anyways, let me guys think about the Mazda CX-5 Carbon Edition. But overall, I would say definitely a solid crossover. Looks cool, and this red interior is pretty exciting.